Hey you, I was just ready to pull back the curtains on Postmates customer support. Let's get started. Alright, if this is your first time to my channel and you want to grow and be a better Postmates delivery driver, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, you won't miss any of my awesome content. I was actually heading out to do some deliveries because, well, I ran out of funds, unfortunately. I took my last $20 bill, put it in my gas tank, and actually commuted about an hour away to a little spot that I know that's kind of hot and you can kind of work all day. But sometimes it can kind of die and you have to know when to get out and go somewhere else. So I got down there and I'm driving around and, I'm doing good and getting some orders. And I'm up to about 40 bucks in payouts. And it's about 3 in the afternoon and I'm getting kind of hungry. And I look down at my gas tank and I'm at the point where it basically says, you've got about a 40-mile range. And I was like, it's time I should probably fuel up. So of course I accept another order. And as I am delivering that order, my fuel tank goes to low. Like it just goes LO. Doesn't even know how to spell low. And so I'm like, I need to get some gas like right now. So I plotted a course for the closest place. And I was like, I know I have enough range to go a few more miles. So I'm going to go to the cheaper gas that's in the hot zone so I can get another order. So I get into the area and I go like another two miles past my drop off and I get back in the hot zone. And I go to hit, payout. And I do my instant deposit and I sacrifice the 50 cents. I go inside and I immediately insert my card. I go, okay, time to put another 20 bucks in. And the card gets declined. Uh-oh. So I basically have her run it again and it doesn't go through. So I check my funds on my bank and the same amount of funds were there this morning. I had 20 bucks and some change and what was left was some change. Sad Postmates life. In all fairness, my bill just hit. So yeah, that's why I'm out of money. Anyway. So at this point I go, I'm not quite sure what to do. I figured, the payout will come in like a few minutes. And at that moment, another order comes for like right around the corner for like a Wendy's or something. And I'm like, okay, I can deliver this. I have enough miles per gallon to do like one more delivery because it was close enough. So I go and I take it and I go and I deliver it and I check my bank and I still don't have the funds. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. The payout was only like $4, so I couldn't cash out again. So now I get worried. So I do a customer support case and I actually called Postmates phone number because we do have fleet support phone number. It's a common misconception. I actually discovered it by making my video on Postmates scam artists. And basically there is a phone number. I will put it in the description and you hit option 3. If you push option 3, this is what you're going to hear. Due to high caller volume, you can opt for a callback by pressing 1. And if you press 1, you get a callback 2 hours later. And if you don't press 1, you get put on hold for 55 minutes and then it drops the call. So your best bet, if you ever do want to call Postmates Fleet, is to simply hit the 1 and you'll eventually get a callback. They're hoping that the problem, I think, resolves itself. Now, I also did a customer case support ticket and there's actually a cool little spot just for putting in payment delay. It's actually pretty awesome. So by this point, I'm an hour past the time that I did instant deposit. And the longest I've ever gone is 30 minutes. So this was like making me really nervous. I'm also an hour away from home and I have barely any gas in my car. I probably have like 20 miles left. I get the reply on the case, and keep in mind this is before I've spoken with anyone from Postmates. I've just opted to have a phone call back. And this is before I waited the 20 minutes and then the 55 minutes. So I get the automated reply and it says, just so you know, it takes 10 to 30 minutes for it to deposit. Make sure you're verified as a Postmates driver here and it should all be good. Reply if you have any other problems. So I checked my bank account again. Nothing was done. I replied. I said, look, I'm stranded. And this is basically what I put in the note. I'm stranded. I need these funds to deposit. I need someone to help me and talk to me and tell me what to do because I can't go any farther. I'm like, literally, I'm flat out. And I got a reply that did not acknowledge that I was stranded, that did not even apologize for anything happening. And you might be able to say it's not their fault, but if like you're doing support, you might want to just be like, I'm so sorry that our system failed you and you're in a bad spot. Let me do something. The email was really automated and it just said, Yeah, so it's pending, and probably it's your bank holding on to it. So, call your bank. It's like 4:30 at this time in the afternoon, and most banks are closed about 4:30. However, I have a credit union that has 24-hour live customer support, so I just called them and like I immediately get someone. So I asked him, I said, "Hey, do you show any like things trying to come through? Are you holding anything?" They go, "Nope, we're not holding anything." And I said, "Okay, good, good, good." And I said, "Do you have any kind of instant deposit holding pattern?" They're like, "Nope, nope. As long as your account's verified, it comes right in." My account's verified. Okay, okay. Done this a million times. Like, okay, so it's not on you. Thanks, bank. I replied to the email. I said, "Talk to my bank. I've done this a million times." They said they have no kind of instant deposit hold. They said there's nothing on their end. It's on your side. You need to pay me. Please give me my money. And then I reiterated, please remember I'm stranded. And then they replied with another email saying, "Let me reiterate what I said. I'm sorry if you're having a hard time understanding. It's processing. You'll get it eventually. Have a great day." I got a phone call back after about 2 hours. And at this point, I actually took another order because it was another short order. So after taking that other order, it gave me the $8.50 and I cashed it out and immediately went into my checking account. So I'm like, what the heck? So at this time, roughly, I go around the corner and I put some gas in my tank and my range goes up to like, I don't know, 55 miles. And keep in mind, I'm like 55 miles away from home. So I'm like, oh, I need to get more orders. So at this time, I get a call from the customer service rep from the first time. And I basically let them know, hey, I'm stranded. This is what's going on. Da, da, da. They said, look, your thing's processing. It's probably on your banks. And I said, look, I've already talked to my bank. I've already gone through all this. Can you please just expedite it? And they're just avoiding it. They were not apologizing. They were not saying, we'll do anything for you. And then finally I said, listen, I can't go home until you at least do something to help me. So the woman put me on hold for about 5 minutes. She comes back. She was very sincere. She said, I want to help you. I know that's your money. I want you to get it. Came back and she said, oh, I see it's processed now. I said, really? So I immediately went on my bank and it still showed nothing. And so I said, hey, it's not in my bank. And she goes, oh, it'll come through any second now. And I was like, oh, so did you just push it or something? She goes, no, it just shows it's processed. Okay. I go, thank you. So I waited 5 minutes and I waited 2 hours and I got one more order and I was able to do $4 more, but I couldn't cash out. And I was kind of sitting around like, but now I'm even like 10 miles less on my gas tank. I'm sitting there going, oh God, I can't get home. What am I going to do? So I requested another phone call and I replied to the email and because the case was still open. And I said, hey, I'm being told by this service rep that it's been processed and I was going to receive it within like 5 minutes or so. And it's been almost 2 hours. I haven't received anything yet. They replied back saying it hasn't processed yet. So I replied back saying, someone's lying to me about where my money is. After about 45 minutes after that, I received another call from a customer service rep. And this customer service rep was very sincere. She was doing her best to help me. She let me know that the payouts were actually processed through a program called Stripe. And they do have a customer service line for people like Postmates employees to call if there's any kind of issues. And I said, hey, well, can you contact Stripe and I'll hold? And they said, no, we can't contact Stripe. And I said, well, I know they have a contact us page. I'm sure they do. And I verified it after this. I'll put it right here. But she didn't want to do that for me. And she just said, eventually, your funds will come. So I had to call in a favor and have money transferred into my savings account, which was kind of degrading to have to ask for that. But then I was like, okay, now I have gas. And then right the next second after I got the transfer, I got a delivery for literally like to pick up like right around the corner for me to pick up sushi that I had to place an order for when I got there, which means I was going to wait like 15 minutes. And then I had to drive it like 10 miles to the freeway towards my house. And I'm like, why didn't this come like so much sooner? I could have just gone home. But, I just want to like let you know kind of my experience when it really hit the fan. The funds did not come into my account until like literally 5 minutes before I started making this video. And it's about 11 o'clock at night right now. I would have been stuck down there if I didn't call in the favor till 11 and I would have been an hour away. So I wouldn't have gotten home till 12. So I'm I'm glad Postmates is there in some form, but it was like when you go through the Postmates support page, there's a lot of articles and you can read the articles and it's their protocols. And when you contact Postmates, it's like they're reading their protocols and sending them to you in auto template email form. So you're not really getting resolutions or people working for you. You're getting like steps and procedures. Yeah, not really a shining example. I'm really not happy with how I had to go through all this with them. I wish they can figure something out and do better. But yeah, I just wanted to rant because I sat in a mall parking lot for like 4 hours today and got 3 orders and was almost out of gas the entire day. And I literally started the day so strong. So I want to give that warning message to you guys. Like, don't ever run your gas to the point where you can't get home. That was actually my fault. I take full ownership of that. But I definitely do want to say, you know, yeah, wow. For my little micro adventures like this, I do post up on Twitter a lot, and I post up on Instagram. You could follow me at Postmates Paul if you want to check me out for my more little mini adventures and rants. I'm going to keep doing Postmates, but I think I'm going to stay more local maybe tomorrow because I just don't want to risk it. And yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to start driving for Postmates, even though I just gave a horrible review of their customer service, here's my code. If you want to start driving for Postmates, then go ahead and just use my code right here. Or likewise, in every single one of my videos, you can click the link to get signed up using my code, and they'll let you know what the bonus is at the time of signing up. This shows me a ton of support, and you don't have to pay for any monthly Patreon or anything like that. You just get a bonus for doing some deliveries, make some money. It helps me out, and I continue making great content. So thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you on the road.
¿Qué onda si pecho arriba, las manos, caballo moreno, penetra tu barrio, le enseño rolas de rock, back frente, blast again, esto pa' la gente.
Finally got some money, getting some ice cream. Today was hard. Treat me good, tell them treat me good.